Taz Effect hits you like a wave, a fresh new spin on the news you crave. Turn the page and you see the light, a different angle that feels so right. No more waiting for the truth to show. Every story starts to glow. Daily news in a way you didn't know. It's the Taz Effect that steals the show. Open your mind, let the colors flow. Daily news in a way you didn't know.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here at the Taz Effect Daily News in a way you did not know you could use. Sorry for the delayed start. Working on a few things. If you stick around to the end, I think you'll like something new that we've added here at the Taz Effect. As always, those listening in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in at gcpr.live. To everyone watching and listening from all corners of the internet, hello, welcome. How are you this morning? Well, this Monday. Do not forget, today is also, darling, Mutual Aid Mondays. Hello. So, if you have a little extra to spare, let's help out one of our own, longtime listener, longtime watcher. If you have Cash App, you can hit her up at $Heather1013K. That is $Heather1013K. And if you would like to be featured on a Mutual Aid Monday, please DM me or join the Signal chat and let me know, and we'll get you up there as well. Also, do keep in mind for the next 2 weeks, you can go to gcpr.live and you can email us from there. And for the price of $10, 10 whole doll hairs, you can be featured by your favorite host on your favorite show and have your name and or likeness put into a spot. For if you like, the Crow Pussy, Mississippi, the Struggle Love, Taz's $10 theater, the $10 house, whatever you want to be featured in, we got you. Remember, just head on over to gcpr.live and shoot us an email, what host you want, what show you want, and make sure you turn over those 10 whole doll hairs. Other than that, it is all right. Hey. Now, tonight at 8 p.m. on the Taz J 77 YouTube channel, there will be an Epstein/Maxwell Files update. There is a lot that has been coming through, so we're going to take care of all of that. Tonight. But right now, let's get into. Because, child, there's so much. Where do we start? Where do we start? Oh, I know where we start. Healthcare group wants RFK Jr. to resign after cocaine confession. So the heroin confession wasn't enough. The don't vaccinate confession wasn't enough. The hey, I took my grandchildren to swim in piss and shit wasn't enough. But cocaine off the back of the toilet, that's where y'all finally drew the line. That's okay. At least you're drawing the lines. At least you were drawing the lines. Okay, so progress, I guess. Progress. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s shocking admission that he snorted cocaine off toilet seats amid his past struggle with drug addiction has led to detractors calling for his resignation, including a prominent healthcare advocacy group. Now, hear me out. Do I believe we could benefit from recovering addicts in certain roles when it comes to healthcare? Absolutely, because they come with a perspective that could be helpful in the healing journey of so many people. They come with an understanding that can educate and alleviate a lot of stigmas which could be a pathway to more people seeking treatment, more people seeking preventative measures so that they don't go down that road of addiction. Do I think this person is RFK Jr.? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because for somebody to understand what can lead to addiction, for somebody to understand how difficult it is to get a handle on addiction, and the way he speaks about it, absolutely, I would quicker I would quicker put Elmo in charge of hospitality of Rocco. You feel me? Like absolutely not. You're not late, Annabelle. You're right on time. Protect Our Care, a nonprofit advocating for better and more affordable healthcare, issued a statement following Kennedy's confession on comedian Theo Von. We're still considering Theo Von a comedian. I thought you had to be funny and tell jokes, but you know what? We listen and we judge on Saturdays on Porch of No Judgment, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on GCPR. Uh, on Vaughn's podcast, The Past Weekend, which aired on February 12th, with his statement today that I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. Trump HH Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continues to lay bare why he is the most dangerous, in over his head, ill-suited person to ever lead such an important federal agency that has life and death power, the statement reads. So are we going to revamp the entire administration? Are we going to shake loose the cabinet because they're all unqualified, including the POTUS? Like we're not concerned. When he was swimming around in shit, we know he's not concerned about germs. Just like Ozzy Osbourne, this man bit the head off of he took a chunk out of a bat. Okay? He had a deceased bear that he ended up abandoning in Central Park that he planned on eating. But he tells us that McDonald's is dangerous for us. My credentials get called into question every 2 to 3 business minutes, on and offline. Every single day, I have people look at me and go, "Hide my beer. I must humble her." But folks are really out here lying to defend and going along for the ride when it comes to RFK. Have y'all noticed the increase of recalls since this administration? And I'm asking this to people who generally pay close attention to recalls, not people who are just now noticing. Because when you're just now starting to notice things, yes, it seems like the boogeyman is behind every corner. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm petty. I'm not down with anyone that rocks a mullet. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up, buddy. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, because in the world of Black people, a mullet is just a shag. And the Whitney Houston, okay, okay, on that Waiting to Hell soundtrack, that Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, rocked one hell of a shag, okay. And I have been known to spin the block on previous iconic hairstyles. So you don't know. This summer I might pop out with the pop out like, but still trust me. Okay. Just a little hair. Gotta be specific. We don't trust the white people mullet, especially the white people mullet of white people that like to be on the white people boats. You can get on other people boats. Don't get on the white people boats. And if you don't understand the difference between the other people boats and the white people boats, this ain't the place for you to be. This ain't the place for you to be. Hey. But the president of Protect Our Care, Brad Woodhouse, addresses Kennedy's remarks in one word statement: resign. I'm going to need y'all to stop piecemealing this administration. None of them are qualified. Okay. Call for all of them to be removed. Oscar, She's Pete's Oscar. Oscar, you're determined. Don't do that. Okay. My IT twin and them, they're lucky. They don't like them. Keep it cute. Keep it cute. People who like to come in and troll, what is the point? Because if you don't like the content, interacting with the content brings more of said content to you. And if you just see a black face and you decide you must go in and try to say something egregious, I hope you know that you're letting the world know that we're in control of you. That I control your emotions. I control if your day is going to be good or bad. I saw that Oscar is needed. That's different white people mullet. Yeah, okay, so just think about that. When y'all are looking from the outside and decide whether or not to jump in like this is double dutch. One, remember you don't have no rhythm. You ain't got no rhythm. You ain't got no rhythm. Two, I'm not a benevolent person. Okay. I will stop the whole show just to roast you. I will be your 13th through 3000th reason why. And I'll sleep with a smile on my face tonight. Booty butthole ass naked. So just in case your ghost wants to come kiss my ass, okay? Just know. just know. Also, if you're letting me disrupt your day and you're not kikiing with the rest of us, oh, you don't know what an orgasm is, do you? You don't even know how to touch yourself like an angel. So you got better things to do. Okay, go do this down there, or do this. I don't know, or just flick the beam. I don't know, or flick your booty cat. Whatever gets you there. But go figure out what's gonna make you go, ooh, yeah. Like, mess with me. That ain't what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. Okay, I got nothing but brothers. Okay, and most of my cousins in my generation, boys. So if you want to tussle, we could tussle. You're not gonna like how I tussle. Just saying. Cooter coin test print is almost done. And don't worry, y'all. You got a cooter coupon anthem. I've created monsters. I've created monsters. But in this economy, gotta bring home the bacon. Fried up in a pan. Now, everyone seems to have a problem. I was already a monster. Yes, you were. Everybody has a problem with ICE wearing masks. Did you know that the border czar has a problem with ICE wearing masks? Holman says, I don't like the masks on ICE, but they have to protect themselves from what? If they are doing the work of the Constitution to protect the people, what do they need to protect themselves from? We don't know who's the bad influence, you or me, probably both. I'm not a bad influence, okay? I'm an alternative influence, okay? I am a gray area influencer, okay? I am a drain life dry influence. I am a adjacent to good influence. I'm the angelic one. Ninja, I'm not going to argue with you because I don't want no whooping. How about that? And I'm gonna stay the favorite. White House border czar Tom Homan said that while he doesn't like the federal immigration enforcement agents where Let's try this again, and we're going to add some words to this article. White House border czar Tom Homan said that while he doesn't like that federal immigration enforcement officers, agents, wear masks, he believes they need to wear masks to protect themselves against threats and violence. They are the threat and the violence. Are we going to ignore, because Taz Farms is not going to ignore, the fact that the vast majority of injuries that are sustained by ICE agents are inflicted by fellow ICE agents? They done shot each other, hit each other with cars, ran each other over, slipped and fell into each other's booty holes. I just, I don't like the mask either. Holman said in an interview with Ed O'Keefe on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan on Sunday. Holman said assaults against immigration and custom enforcement officers have increased by 1,500%, while threats against them have increased by 8,000%. Holman says assaults against immigrations and customs enforcement officers have increased by 1,500%, while threats against them increased by 8,000%. First of all, what would there have been a reason to threat or anything them before? Number one. Number two, I don't believe any of y'all percentages. Y'all just put thousand behind something and just say percentage, and you think it's supposed to sound real nice. We have video evidence. You're right, Jimmy, very much MAGA math. But we have video evidence of Border Patrol and ICE agents threatening members of the general public. We have evidence of racial profiling going on. We have evidence of Border Patrol and ICE agents intimately assaulting, physically assaulting, verbally assaulting, emotionally assaulting residents and citizens of these here United States. Defending oneself is not a threat or assault. I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to hear me, okay? Don't try to push back, okay? I am planted. I'm not moving. Don't waste your energy. We're to this point where they are blatantly, easily, willfully lying because of y'all's obsession with gossip. You only tend to correct people if they're talking badly about you, someone you like, or something that's going to affect your pockets. For far too long, for centuries at this point, and we're not going to do this, oh, it's because of social media. No, okay? What's amplified by social media has existed well before anybody even thought about a computer chip, let alone computer processing at the level that we have it now, okay? But y'all are quicker to believe a lie than you are to believe the truth. Democrats' favoritism, lowest ratings in 35 years. What show is called Democrat favoritism, you dumb? What show is called Democrat favoritism? You chew on that while I finish what I was saying. But you all will decide to listen to a lie about somebody because you feel that they're too attractive and it affects your self-esteem. You feel like somebody is living the life that you should have, even though you haven't worked on living that life. And this is why we're to the point where people can blatantly lie out in public. Just out in public. This is why they can sit here and we can have evidence of who's being the aggressor, and they'll tell you, no, 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 no. Don't focus on what your eyes are seeing and what your ears are hearing over there. Just focus on whatever we tell you over here. This is why we have so many reality shows where you all are aligning yourselves with the person who lies the most. This is why they took the villains from multiple reality shows and put them on a show of their own. And people are, yay, like we love New York, Tiffany Pollard. Not because of the good that she's done, not because she actually is a very intriguing, very kind hearted, very intelligent woman. No, she's your favorite villain. And she can come out and say whatever, y'all will take it as the gospel. That's why we're here. That's part. There are a lot of components to how we got here. That's one of them. Now, y'all remember, because it wasn't that far ago, okay? Not long ago, uh, Trump decided to remind people that he's a racist piece of shit. And while everybody else was trying to make excuses for him, he was like, nah, partner, I did it. I meant to do it. Y'all know me. I've been waving my racist flag out in the open since 1973. Before that, I kept it in the closet. I just decided to whip it out again. And he portrayed Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. A Trump merch, still available at tazisms.com, by the way. And for people who claim that racism died with the presidency of Obama, none of this happened, and they love to forget as if their digital footprints will not forever be attached to their legacies. But they have not let up on this couple with the racial tropes. So Obama responds to Trump sharing racist AI video depicting him as an ape. This comes from weku.org. Former President Barack Obama has responded to the racist video posted by President Donald Trump Sr.'s social media account earlier this month. During an interview with YouTuber Brian Tyler Cohen, Obama said many Americans find this behavior deeply troubling. There doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, Obama said in an interview which was posted on YouTube Saturday. And that's the thing. Everything that people used as an excuse. Tiffany was a hot mess. Yeah, she still is a hot mess, Nightbird. But everything people use as an excuse as to why Obama should not have been elected either time as POTUS is the embodiment of what Trump is doing. People have said for so long, we can't elect black people to this. We can't, they'll turn it this and they'll bring down the value. It'll be so ghetto and they don't abide by the rules. And look where we are. Their accusations are nothing but projected confessions. There used to be a point in time that decorum was above all else when it came to US politics, especially when it came to the geopolitical stage. Now, there was a time in US politics where, yeah, they were coming to fisticuffs. Okay. They were challenging to each other to duels. They were literally smacking the shit out of each other with each other's bills. Back when they really wanted to do things for the country and to keep their constituencies happy. They would come to, they was making it up. And they were like, hold up, this is not the gentlemanly way to do things. We got to set an example. Now all of that is out the window, and the amount of people that are like, yeah, until they see it on the other side. MAGA right now, to date, is the largest faction that has ever existed within the Grand Old Party, aka the Republican Party. And MAGA is, we can say they're a cult of personality, all these different things. But here, MAGA is a narcissistic, abusive partner that refuses to let you go. They realize and recognize that what they're doing is wrong, because when you match their energy, they're offended, they're hurt, and they want you to make it up to them and coddle them and fix things for them. They will take what you say when you're expressing your feelings sit on it for a while, and then come back and try to flip it onto you. They have such a bad memory when it comes to them having to take accountability for how they've messed things up. But all of a sudden, they have the memory of an elephant when it comes to any missteps that you have. So we have to keep that in mind. This is why when Gavin Newsom's PR team started tweeting the same way that Trump truths on Truth Social, they were like, oh, that's not becoming of a politician of that level. That's so ridiculous. But when Trump does it, yeah, yeah, because they're a narcissistic, abusive partner. It wasn't so much that Cassius Clay was good at it, specifically Cassius Marcellus Clay, because there's a lot of Cassius Clays. Um, there's a lot of Clays within the family. People get that family history very, very confused. Um, but it wasn't so much that. It was they were going to go through a stalling of birth rates because you had a lot of men that were riddled with literal lead. Because there were sometimes it would be years before they realized that they were shot and it would just be lodged in there. A lot of times they would be shot and it's like, it's safer to let them walk around with it than anything. Fertility was an issue. Pain started to step into play and they couldn't uchi coochie wally wally to produce their new workforce. Since, couldn't force people into things anymore. I mean, technically they still did because white people love to force their family members into indentured servitude even to this day. And very few gentlemen are actually gentlemen. And dueling was looked at as a gentleman's way of handling altercations, but they weren't following their own rules. They weren't abiding by the paces. They weren't abiding by the weapon choices or the amount of weapons that they were supposed to use. The amount of times people had folks hiding off behind trees and bushes, it's ridiculous. But remember, on who you're deciding to trust. What's going on up here? Oh, wow. AI is being, well, AI doesn't like me on TikTok. So, yeah. TikTok does often describe the Taz Effect as rambling. One time it described me as a confused gay white woman. I was confused by that. I will admit I was taken back. Doesn't like humans yet. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, Jimmy, it too. One time because the AI description every so often on TikTok, at least especially if I'm streaming from my MacBook, it'll show like how AI is describing me. Yeah, said that I was a confused white lesbian. I was for a while. During that lie, I had to pause for a second. Yeah. Um. I mean, I, technically, I am a confused lesbian. Whole relationship with a man right now, a cis man at that. But I'm like, where the white part come in? And then I was swiftly reminded by some good friends that happen to be white that I do more white people shit than them. And maybe that's why the description got confused. Yeah, confused white tip. But Chaos put up a video. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday when we went out to grab something to eat after church. In the search bar is for a grown ass man that plays football. Hey, can we not? Like what? TikTok. I'm just not a man. I'm just not white. I don't know. I don't know. Now, remember, do you remember the time when Trump said he loves kids? Do you remember the time when the GOP said hashtag protect the children? Y'all remember that? Ooh, on a daddy daughter date with the girls. Make sure ice cream is involved in this daddy daughter date, SD. Ooh, and we're 12 days away from our coffee date, SD. Oh, chicken, I'm glad you asked. The time that they said hashtag protect the children before saying, don't feed them kids school lunches, even though at all technicality, let's be real. Y'all do realize that when they put together school budgets, that includes food, the staff for cooking the food, the utilities for cooking the food, like all of that, right? So I need y'all to think about why we're charging children to eat at school. Why are we double dipping children? Like, none of y'all really sat down and thought about this? They're not getting the money from this week's food and then going to buy the food next week. Yeah. Hi, my ladies. Hopefully it'll be warm enough. We take a walk to the park, ladies, when I get there. Um, but yeah, the budget is already there. I need y'all to think about this. But Trump said this is how much we're going to take care of the kids. Hashtag protect the kids. Trump cut $168 million from school funding, leaving kids to return to schools gutted of key care programs. This is supposed to make us more competitive. This is supposed to make us less reliant on imports. Y'all sit here every day on the internet, and trust me, I chuckle. I chuckle. Y'all laugh at other countries not having property taxes because they vote for things that make sense. But y'all believe in socialism bad, when we have a multitude of socialist programs. A multitude. We are not definitively all of anything. We don't fit into a box, but y'all keep trying to act like we do. Y'all sit there and look at just apartments in other countries, and you're like, hey, that's better than the whole house I bought. No shit, Sherlock. You look at transportation systems, healthcare in other countries, all of these things, and then get frustrated because you can say something simply to someone and they sit there and give you a glossed over look for 3 to 5 business months, but you still let stuff like this happen. When the whole Hillman talk trend was going on TikTok, people were like, oh, I'd love to learn more. I'd love to learn more. Myself, other educators were like, hey, bet we do have standalone classes outside of the institutions that we teach for, outside of the organizations that we educate through. Sign up. You didn't. You didn't. But you're complaining. You're sitting here going, oh, well, my kid's school district isn't doing this. We're like, bet, here's some resources outside of that. You didn't do anything. And now, just like you did with employment, you're letting them dismantle education again. And do not bring up, and I'm tired of saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it until it finally gets in through your skulls. Children have been left behind before George Bush put a tagline to it. Y'all keep forgetting that a big chunk of US history, no one was required to have their children in school. You started to do it because you noticed that Black children were educating Black children. Then you shut down entire school districts because you did not want to desegregate. Then you went to, well, we know that the white kids are mediocre. So if they can dribble a ball or pass a football or run down the field, we're just going to pass them through school so they can forever be the hero of the town. Because at 67, we're still going to put them in the parade as the greatest quarterback we've ever had. And to this day, right now, I can guarantee you there's a parent or grandparents or a combination of both going off on a teacher and school administrators because they know their dumb as hell niece, nephew, child in their care hasn't been doing schoolwork, hasn't been doing homework, cuts up every day in school, and is dumber than a box of rocks at the bottom of the ocean. But you better pass them. You better pass them. And yet parents are still asking teachers, while claiming the teachers are indoctrinating their children, as if we spend that much damn time with them and like we like them like that. We can't even indoctrinate ourselves and the people close to us, but we indoctrinate your badass kids that in the 10th grade still trying to figure out how 2 + 2 = 4. Pipe down, Janice, pipe down. But y'all will still sit there and say, well, these teachers should teach the kids how to balance a checkbook. Newsflash, that is your job as a parent. Well, why don't they teach them how to, call around and price compare? Newsflash, that's your job as a parent. You are to prepare your children for the world at large. Y'all need to stop acting as if when they turn certain ages, this information just downloads into them because you know that's not true. You know that's not true. You want people to parent your kids, but then not parent your kids. You want the village, but you don't want the village. I, as an educator, do not have time to sit down with your child and teach them how to budget, nor should I have to, because guess who I taught how to do that? My damn kids, okay? The minions, they learn how to do that, okay? They learn how to cook, clean, budget, price compare, comparison shop, know where to get coupons from, all of that good stuff. They learned about insurances, all of that, because I chose to do the oochie coochie wally wally and pop out babies and keep them. We don't need to bring home ec back. Why are we teaching home ec when you got a kitchen in your house? And before you go, well, Taz, that's a little ableist. What about the people who don't have the kitchen? All the more reason not to teach home ec. You should be teaching your children how to survive in the environment that they're in. If you're living in a food desert, you should be teaching your children how to continue to survive in that food desert in the hopes that they will do better in life than what you did. That they will get a few opportunities that you didn't get so that they can take a step towards betterment. So the generation after them can take a bigger step towards betterment. Talk about, well, bring shop class back. Why? Trade schools exist. Because a lot of y'all are complaining about the lives you lived as minors with your parents. And you're like, well, my parents, they just gave up. They were okay with just being entry level because while in school, they were divvied up like it was the damn movie A Bug's Life or Ants going, you're going to do this and you're going to do this and you're going to. So they didn't think they could do any better than anything else. And no, I'm not thumbing my nose up to welding and carpentry. No, but there are people who should have been owning their own business for a while, or should have been the regional manager, or should have been the manager or the overseer of this, but they didn't go for it because they were told that they were only good enough to be the worker bee. And those are the classes that they were automatically put into because the parents weren't parenting. And let's be true to this. It goes back historically. Because white people don't know how to raise kids because white people still ain't started raising kids. Y'all sit here and talk about trad wives for what community? For what community? Because you're sitting here going, well, women want somebody with money and blah, blah, blah. Because if you're a white trad wife, your whole job was to look good and be screwable when he got off work. You didn't cook, you didn't clean, you didn't raise them kids. You popped them kids out because you were the primary cum receptacle. Remember, I said primary, not only primary. Now, if you were black and a trad wife, you had a job taking care of somebody else's kids during the day. When you came home, you had to take care of your own kids. You also had to parent your husband as well because he had to bring you his whole check. Because if he didn't, y'all would be homeless because he would either gamble away his money, spend it on the bitch 2 blocks down, or drink it away because he's miserable with his plot in life. Because society keeps a foot on the center of his back. See, this whole head of household thing is a damn myth. This whole we live in a patriarchy, no. You want to pretend that we live in a patriarchy because if we lived in a patriarchy, every time something goes wrong, you wouldn't be asking where somebody's mama is. You wouldn't be asking where somebody's mama or grandmama went wrong. You wouldn't be asking what somebody's mama thinks of something. The onus of everything wouldn't be put on the backs of a woman. You would be looking at men. You would be holding men accountable. You wouldn't be uplifting deadbeat men and telling women to choose better. And with the climate that we're going through right now, you wouldn't keep looking and at black women's door going, hey sis, what you doing? You coming outside to fix this? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. What Cat Williams say? Just because you call it Darren, don't mean that it's Darren's. Just because you call it a patriarchy, don't mean that it is. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're new here and you thought this was just going to be traditional news where we just sit here and go, today at the corner of 95th and 76, we saw, no. I won't sell you propaganda, but I will serve you the truth. Generally in a graphic tee. On the weekend, you might get a little razzle dazzle. We might put a touch of makeup on. But $168 million. And riddle me this, Batman. Riddle me this. With all the cuts that Doge made, and yes, I am completely being sarcastic and I'm seasoning that sarcasm with facetiousness, okay? Just so that we're clear. So we're on one accord, okay? One sound, one band. You with me? Okay, thought so. Okay, let's two-step with this, okay? Okay. So with all the cuts and all the budgetary savings that Doge instituted, why are we continuing to cut? And how are we adding new and interesting flavors and services from the federal government with no money and no staff? And if Trump isn't taking a salary again, and he's not profiting from the presidency, why does he need so much stuff during the presidency? Because you know everything is supplied. Why do we have to keep increasing the budget to keep him alive? Ha 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 ha. Why is he alive? Why is he alive? Ha 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 ha. Who's keeping him alive? Hmm? Hmm? Oh, I agree. Oh, I agree. We take their money backyard. I agree. Because they're quick to go, oh no, he's doing it for the people. When did he do it for the people? When did he do it for the people? When did he do it for the people? Oh, in case y'all didn't know this, there are people that are holding on to positions in this government specifically to be informants, whistleblowers, etc., to try to give us a monochrome of help from the inside. Also, I want to make this clear. As I've said before, revolution is a machine. Okay? Revolutionism is a machine. Sweetheart, what the hell does Oprah have to do with me? You think because I'm a black woman that I'm sucking at the taint of Oprah? Oprah isn't for me. Oprah is for white women. Go to a white woman's live. Go to a white woman's show and tell her about Oprah being in there. And please explain to learn the types of files that are in these files. I don't give a damn about Oprah. She can eat a dick with Gail King. They can go scissor the night away after midnight over there. But anyhow, like I was saying, when it comes to revolution, we need activism, we need litigation, we need lobbying. Okay. And I also need you all to be aware these things are not happening, it's not happenstance. These deaths, these injuries, it is not by happenstance. Let me take you all back to Georgia and the Hyundai plant. Now I know Tori Branham came on TikTok and was like, I was the one that called. And I told y'all she's a liar. But if she want to take credit for it, let her take credit for it. Let her be demonized. Let her tank her own campaign before it even really got legs on it. Okay. There was a 30-day investigation by DHS. Now we know they're blundering fools over at DHS at this point, okay? And the people who are good at their job and know what they're doing, we know they're being stifled. We know they're being silenced. We know that they're being handcuffed all over the place, okay? But the people who are now losing their lives and being injured, this is not by accident. And no, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a data collector. I'm a historian. There are now reports coming out that people have been surveilled before they were shot. People have been surveilled. They've had family members put into ICE detention and they have passed away. If there is nobody to fight for you, they get away with it. They are banking on what I call the graveyard effect. And let me explain it to you. We, societally, and for many people culturally, when we pass on, people take us to a graveyard. That is our final resting place, so to speak. After a while, you run into generations that don't know you, that don't have any connection to you, that are not going to visit your grave, that are not going to check up and make sure it's well maintained. Sure, you don't know how many graveyards are on top of graveyards. Some of y'all don't know that you're living on top of a former graveyard or next to one. They're counting on that. They're counting on the elimination of people who would know that you're detained, who would know that what is happening to you is illegal, that you exist on this planet. We can say your name 101 times on every news broadcast and every social media post, put it in every newsletter. We can pick up snail mail letter campaigns, but eventually that's going to wane down and there won't be somebody to show up to court for you. There won't be somebody to put money on your books, so to speak. There won't be somebody to find an attorney on the outside to advocate for you. That is what I mean by the graveyard effect. This is what they're banking on. So I need you all to be mindful. And I know certain things happen and you get excited and you want to share the news. But right now, people are sharing the full face of a woman who allegedly tried to set fire to an ICE facility, well, office. Y'all are not thinking. You are helping the enemy succeed. I need y'all to think. I really need you to think. I need you to fight the good fight because that is the proper thing to do, not fight the good fight because you want notoriety. The ones that got us the furthest in regards to equity, you still don't know their name. You still don't know their likeness. Correct, can we not? Repost instead of react. Also, I do not care what your intent is. Calling a black person, regardless of their plot in life, their lot in life, a house ninja, and y'all know the word, is never okay, especially when you have to battle with UV rays even in the dead of winter. Okay, if you have to slather on sunscreen before you turn on the lights in the morning, sit this one out. Number one. Number two, I need y'all to reconcile with why you were so willing to jump on the bandwagon of that happening. First of all, it was a black man that said that to another black man. Stay out of black folks' business. Number one, because we leave y'all and y'all business alone. And if we do watch, we watch from a distance. We're not trying to put our 2 cents in. You trying to put $1.75 in. Absolutely not. Okay. But y'all will take either a male face, a male presenting face, or a white body and believe whatever happens. But when somebody is accurately telling you something, you got 50 million questions. You need to reconcile with why. You right, DJ. We're watching from over beyond. You need to reconcile with why. Also, some of y'all think that you are anti-racist. Some of y'all think that you are on an anti-racism journey. Some of you all think that you're actively deconstructing. You're not. And I'm going to tell you how I know you're not. You're not pro-black. You're pro-black male fetish. Because y'all will take something that a black femme or a black woman created and try to co-opt it to erase their existence. Or you try to pick it up and hand it to a black man whose undercarriage you want to touch and licky boom boom down. That's how we know. That's how we know. And but I wouldn't ask that. If you see a melanated person working on the wrong side of history, just ask them, what do they gain in joining with the oppressor? How has that ever worked out for anyone but the oppressor? Yeah, pretty quick and come. Yeah. Now, in closing, we here at GCPR, we love y'all, okay? And we love that a lot of you all watch and listen to multiple of our shows. We love that GCPR is a community. It's not just a company, it is a community. I do want to point this out. We have different shows, okay? I need y'all to be mindful. We aim to please and bring you the content, the topics, everything that you love to hear, that you love to see. We're here for it, okay? And we have a really good turnaround for it. Okay, generally speaking, if you ask us in the morning, at least by the night, we can have it done, or give us 24 hours and we'll really have it for you. Okay. But here's the thing, you all are going to non news shows asking them for news breakdowns. Why? You're going to shows about movies and asking about wrestling, and we have a show dedicated to wrestling. I'm going to need y'all to pay attention to the room that you're walking into. Okay, if you're a midday news person, then you're here with your girlie, Taz, for the Taz Effect. If you like your news after work, then you're with the co-owner, one of the co-owners, and my brother from another mother, Mr. Jeff Kennedy, for the Kennedy Effect. You want to talk wrestling? We got Superplex Party. Okay, we got a little bit of everything, but I need y'all to gear your questions during those shows to the topics of the show. Okay. 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 Y'all going a little, you don't want me coming to your job asking you about Hustler magazine or Playboy, now do you? No, because that's not what we're doing. And y'all are getting upset and you're going into spaces because I see y'all, tell y'all. I'm like the American Express of GCPR. I'm everywhere you think I shouldn't be. And you're complaining. Oh, well, they didn't go into this. I'm never watching them again because you asked the wrong question to the wrong person. If you come over here asking a pop culture question, I don't know what to tell you. I can send you to the show with the people who that is their wheelhouse, that is their lane. Upset about what? Just another person saying spastic thing. Okay. You know what? I never posed for Hustler. Who did you secret call me later? I got questions. Oh yeah, I know, Nana J. But yeah, you can't, don't get upset because your question wasn't answered, people, when you're not asking it to the right person. You're not going to go to the cardiologist and ask them about your transmission to this. Just keep that in mind. Give us a fair shake. But if you're going to complain and say, we're ignoring you, make sure we're actually ignoring you. Okay? Okay. And once again, if you're going to troll me, be a highbrow troll. Okay? I deserve better. All right? I work hard for the sophisticated trolls. Sophisticated trolls, introduce yourself. Sophisticated trolls. I should not have this much fun. Alrighty, as always. I don't know, Storm. We'll figure it out. We'll find them. Eventually, a sophisticated troll will come in and we'll know, okay? It'll be like a magically blurred on Johnny. We'll know. We'll just point and go, sophisticated troll. Like, we'll know. Yeah, they were out in force today. I don't, maybe, was it the braids? I don't know. Do not forget, today at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central on TikTok, we'll continue to go through the memoir of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, Nobody's Girl. At 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, over on YouTube at TazJ77. We will get updated on all the new information regarding Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein Maxwell files because a lot has happened since then. And another quick reminder, keep in mind, next 2 weeks, $10, $10, $10. Go over to gcpr.live, email us, tell us what host you want to do it, what show you want to hear to see it on, and what advertisement do you want to be attached to. Okay, you want a little Bo app, You want a little honey sauce? You want a little Saint Saint swole meat? Okay, your choice, our voice. You like that, don't you? You like that. You like that. You like that. Okay. Um, and maybe if you put a little extra on it, Angry will take his shirt off for y'all. I don't know. You got to grease it a little bit. Put a little baby Earl on it. Okay, the strawberry, not the strawberry, the strawberry baby. But as always, those listening in over the radio airwaves at GCPR.live, thank you for listening in, and for everybody else listening and viewing from all over the social media sphere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But don't go away just yet, because remember, you asked this morning for a little cooter coupon ditty. Like I said, we aim to please. Okay.